A question I always asked when looking at old postcards of Lowestoft was, how did a First World War tank end up on display next to Lowestoft Lighthouse? The answer to the question begins back in 1917 with the success of the tank at the Battle of Cambrai. A few weeks earlier, in November of that year, 2 tanks had also taken part in the London Lord Mayor's show, the new wonder weapon being so popular with the public that the government decided to use the tank to sell war bonds and war savings certificates. As part of the campaign, 6 tanks would tour the country, each one spending a week in a town or city with 2 young ladies selling war bonds from a table set up inside the tank. After the war, the Treasury gave 264 tanks to those places that raised the most money, and in Suffolk that meant Lowestoft, Ipswich and Bury St Edmunds were each awarded a tank. Lowestoft was awarded a female Mark IV tank. This type was lighter than the male version and was armed with 5 Lewis machine guns. The tank travelled by rail from Bovington Camp in Dorset to Lowestoft North Station, from where it was driven by its crew to the lighthouse. The local newspaper, the Lowestoft Journal, gave the following report. The wind blew with hurricane force, and the rain pelted down in torrents. Notwithstanding, there was a good gathering at the North Station siding, where the tank reposed in all its glory. It was swung round in its own length, slewed up to the roadway, got straight, and ambled forward at a dignified pace to the Yarmouth Road, into which it turned with the ease of a bicycle. The tank then proceeded to the appointed site, accompanied by the mayor and other dignitaries, and turned onto a prepared runway of planks. In a moment the machine was straightened and in position, not however before considerable damage had been done to the grass surrounding the base, which was literally piled in a heap by the huge machine. The crowd did not cheer. Only the Warren school pupils from a planned larger school group joined the welcoming party, braving the appalling weather. Soon after, the delivery crew removed the guns and drive chains to make sure its useful life was over. The Lowestoft tank lasted until 1937, when it was considered a rusty eyesore and, despite protest from local townspeople, including many who had served in the Great War, it was sold to local metal merchants Seago and Harrison for scrap. So does anything remain today of the Lowestoft tank? Well, these pieces on display are all parts of the tank, recovered during the dismantling by Mrs. Jane Barley, and include a bolt, possibly from an access hatch, and a riveted piece of armour plating. All bear the scar of a blowtorch, and some have traces of brown camouflage paint still visible. I'm Robert Jarvis. I am curator at the Lowestoft War Memorial Museum. If you liked this video, please remember to hit the subscribe button below, and if you feel able to support us, there is a GoFundMe link at the end. Thank you.